Salt and pepper, bread and butter, Paul and Barry chuckle. Some things just seem made to go together, but one combination we weren't so sure about was Assassin's Creed and pirates, because it's pretty tough to sneak about when you got a wooden leg. But that's exactly the combo Ubisoft have gone for with this year's entry in their mega franchise, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which sees a new hooded rogue called Edward Kenway doing hits and sailing ships in the 18th century Caribbean. Do you know what? It kinda works. Black Flag is set during the Golden Age of Piracy, so I've come to the historic port of Genoa in Italy to experience a bit of the pirate life, play a bit of the game, and soak up the very last dregs of the summer sun. I'm gonna go inside and play the game in a dark room. Fortunately, the weather was much less overcast inside the game, because aside from the odd tropical storm, there was nothing but beautiful Caribbean sunshine. Lots and lots and lots of it.
You know, my favorite thing about this game, it's not a single feature, it's actually the Caribbean open world. I mean, I can say yes, we have pirates, and the pirate aesthetic that we put in there is fantastic, and we have great characters like Blackbeard and Charles Vane. But really my favorite thing is the Caribbean naval sandbox. You know, we wanted to create something unique and fresh. We're used to building cities, and here we decided to go big and create not only cities but this sandbox. And I think people out there have never experienced this type of world before. You know, it's very unique in the way you travel through this world, in the way you consume the content of this world. You know, I think people are going to experience a world like they've never touched before. We told ourselves we wanted to make the definitive pirate experience, and we did it through the narrative, we did it through the mechanics, and we did it through the world itself, and I'm excited for people to get to play it.
From getting hands-on with the game, we can safely say that Black Flag is so piratey you can almost smell the scurvy. And the open world does provide a unique experience because it's totally seamless. We went from steering our ship, the Jackdaw, on the open waves, to jumping overboard and swimming to a tiny island, then hunting ocelots through the undergrowth, skinning them and turning them into a fashionable bag or pistol holder. So basically an average day in the life of Vivienne Westwood. We also got to dive for loot and dodge sharks in a rather fetching set of long johns and engage in tense naval battles that ended with us spectacularly boarding the enemy vessel. And according to associate producer Sylvain Trottier, it was this cool mechanic that caused the biggest headaches for the engineering team.
It was essential that we had boarding working perfectly in the game. So to get like two moving ships with different, like the height of the waves and everything, and get them together, make them get together, then make the dynamic nav mesh so that the NPCs and the player can jump from one ship to the other, start fighting, the animation, get all this working all together, and still have like this big open sea behind you, all still working. This was probably one of the biggest challenges in the game. That at the beginning, like the NPCs were not going from one ship to the other. Then one day we went to a presentation of the team, and they did us a surprise, and you saw like the guy send the grapple hook, and then you see the NPC go underneath and cross over on the other ship, and it was like, whoa, that's awesome. So that's very pirate. So that
Did you all cheer? Were you like, yes?
all the time.
But if you've heard all of that and are still thinking, none of this sounds very Assassin-y, we thought so too. So we asked game director Ash Ismail how they've balanced the swashbuckling pirate pieces with the more skulky assassin aspects.
From the beginning of this game, we had this internal debate about, is Edward a pirate? Is he an assassin? And so we actually decided, you know what? People are going to ask us this question, so we're going to infuse it into the story. So literally, the story that we tell of Edward is a man who starts as a pirate, and he starts learning about the creed. And he has this internal conflict of, do I believe in the creed, which is a selfless philosophy, or do I love this fame and fortune life of building a pirate republic? And this is an internal struggle that Edward has throughout the tale. So you know, we have fun with it in the narrative as well. For sure, it's an AC game. You are doing a lot of assassinations. We actually have the most assassinations of any AC in this game. So we're doing assassinations. You're doing a lot of free running. The cities are, you know, fashioned after, you know, they're as an homage to Assassin's Creed 2, which for us as a dev team was really the reference game for us. We loved AC2.
So there you have it. Tell your reservations to walk the plank, because despite being a scourge of the seven seas, you're still the all-stabbing, all-climbing assassin that you always were. Yep, looks like it's the pirate life for all of us when Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag launches later this year.